Hey there, stamping friends. This is Robin Dawes at Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Diego, California, where it's trying to be sunny today, but I'm sure it's a lot, warmer than where a lot of you are because it's, I think, about somewhere between 65 and 70. Anyway, having a beautiful day here, and I thought I would share with you. Hey, Linda, welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you a new set of designer series paper that comes out tomorrow. It is part of the new Eden's Garden bundle slash, I guess it's a whole suite of products. The stamp set and the dies will be available in the spring catalog that starts in January. But they've also added, for right now, starting tomorrow, you can get these products, are some gorgeous paper and some gems, which I don't have because they weren't available when I could actually get them. So let me just put you down here so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. Hopefully this little light I've got going on makes it a little easier to see too. But this is the whole suite of products. You can see there's a stamp set with some pretty dies. This is actually a distinctive set. So even though that kind of, I don't know, looks a little blobbish, it's actually a flower. And then it has these dies that cut out a wreath that's kind of rectangular. Some other ones, this is like an edge die that's really kind of cool looking. So anyway, that's just some new stuff, and I don't have it all yet. I would love to be in a place where I could buy everything that I want, but I can't. So what I did buy is the paper, because I am really a paper person, and I almost always end up buying the new papers. So actually this is the card, but let me just show you the paper first. So this paper each has some gold in it. I don't know if you can see that really well, but dang, why is this doing this to me? I'm trying to make sure you guys can see me by getting on myself, but let me bring it up a little bit. So you can see each page has some gold. Can you see how it's shiny? This one just barely has any. This next one just has some little gold dots. This one is the really gold looking one. Again, just some pretty flowers. You could do this with some some holiday cards, obviously. Add in whatever color you want, or this is my favorite one, or just leave it this kind of elegant green on green and white look. And then the backs have these neutrals, which I can easily see, with tree stamps, etc., being made into guy cards. Remember that suit set? That would look really cool as a suit. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Almost don't want to cut that one up. That would be good if you're a scrapbooker. Again, just a lot of really good background looking colors. So when I decided I wanted to show this to you guys and make a card, I said, you know what, I want to use a bunch of the different colors and such. Yeah, well, I guess just the different pages. So, and I saw someone, I think her name's Lissa, and she was making this new card kind of fold that I had never made before. And so I thought, well, let's give it a try. So it has a belly band. And then it unfolds like that. Isn't that cool? So you basically get to use 3 different beautiful DSP. And the thing I like about it too is it only uses these little narrow strips. And so that way you really can use even little scraps of stuff. So hopefully, hey Cindy, hey Elizabeth, welcome. Hopefully you guys have scraps of paper of things that you can use. So let's get going. It's really so easy. Some of these cards that have, you know, folds and whatever look like they're difficult, and once you do them, it turns out they're kind of easy. So you need either your scoring board or your cutter, Stampin' Up cutter. So this starts out as a piece 5.5 by 11. So what you did was just cut off 3 inches from this side here. So 5.5 by 11. So you're only going to get one of these kind of cards from each of the pieces. So that's something to remember. And you're going to score this on your scoring thing, your cutter. You're going to need it open because you've got a lot of cutting to do. I mean scoring to do, sorry. So you're going to be scoring this at 9 3/4. Remember, use your scoring blade, not your dark cutting blade. Then at 5.5, and you notice I'm going up and down a few times. And then 1 3/4. Okay. So then you're going to feel like you're folding it, you know, in half. Of course, you're really not, because it's really not, you'll notice, completely in half. Oh, I guess it is. And then you're going to fold, let me see if I get this right. Okay, put the one with the bigger side on the top, and you're going to fold that back towards the front. Again, burnish it well. And then you're going to fold this other, I'm just kind of adjusting because you definitely want this to be even. And then you're going to fold this other little one, this 1 3/4, back again on that. And again, burnish them well. I'm just going to try to burnish them evenly. Oh gosh, my phone says I'm being interrupted again. Okay, so all I did was burnish while I was gone. I tried something different today, just taking it off my internet to see if that would help at all, but it didn't. So you get that? So we're scored at 1 3/4, 5.5, 9 3/4. Fold it in half, fold it back on itself, the big one, and then the little one on top. Then remember I said we cut off that 3-inch. Well, actually, no, let's just decorate this first. So we've got 3 different pieces that we're going to be decorating with. One, and this will be on my blog this afternoon, stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com. But this is 3.5 by 5 1/4. That goes with the big one. The next size is 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then the baby one is 1 inch by 5 1/4. So let's just glue all those down. So again, this one's 3.5. And you know, pretty much you can do this with any of our DSP packs because they all match so well. I mean, obviously you can kind of mix and match them if you want between them, but you don't really need to because they match so well. You know, you could use the back sides, I suppose, if you wanted to, but this to me was all about those gold pieces. So, and some of these are unidirectional, so be careful when you're placing them down. Like this one to me looks kind of better like that. And then the other thing is I tend to really try to make sure these are aligned at the top and bottom. Okay, and then the last one. Again, this is a 1 inch 1.5, 3.5 inch. This one definitely has a direction to it. Okay, so let's stamp a few things. So we're going to stamp, remember I told you there was this 3-inch strip. So from that 3-inch strip, we cut the belly band. And then also, this is from the Stitch So Sweetly. This is the largest one. And then out of, I forgot to tell you that was soft succulent. The main colors in here are soft succulent, evening evergreen, and the gold and the white. And then you could use, accent with whichever you want. And this is that piece from the Stitch So Sweetly. And then the stamp set that I am using for this is called Bamboo Beauty. And this is the first time I've used it. I just was looking for something, since I didn't have the matching stamp set, that would kind of remind me of these little leaf pieces. I figured I could use my Forever Fern, but that's been used a lot, and I'd gotten this recently and actually never used it. So I thought, you know what? These kind of look like these to me, even though they're not bamboo at all. So that's how I decided I was going to do that. And then I'm using the words in there that say grateful for all you do. I figured that would be a nice thing for Thanksgiving, and it would also be just a nice thank you note. This is the Evening Evergreen ink. Always turn it over and look. I've got a little shadow on here, so let's get that off. Make sure your paper is lined up. Make sure you're kind of lined up. Beautiful. And then we're going to stamp. Remember I said those little bamboo shoots. Now I'm not using my pad today because these are the cling stamps. But what I am going to do, that had picked up a lot of stuff I don't want. Kind of juicy stamp pads. But I'm going to stamp it off first on here, because see how dark that is? If I put that on here, you wouldn't be able to see the words very well. So again, check it. See how this keeps doing this? I'll show you in a minute what I do when I have a stamp that doesn't want to behave like that. Stamp it off. Isn't that pretty as a background? And you can do that with almost any stamp, because otherwise, this looked just kind of a little plain. And I'm going to take these same little bamboo, and here's the third time I've used it, and it's still picking up that end right there, which I don't like at all. But anyway, we're going to stamp it, and then we're just going to kind of keep going. So 3 different times, not re-inking in between, and it almost looks like, it's kind of overlapping or fading into the distance there. And that's it for our stamping there. Oh, wait, I promised I would show you what I do with stamps that don't behave. So remember, every time I stamped, this little part, rubber on the bottom, was picking up some. So I just take my snips and I say bye-bye to that little piece of rubber. And then when I go back and use it, I'll show you. It usually behaves after that. Now I suppose if you're a purist and you want to keep this as perfect looking, that's fine, but I would rather it function well. So let me show you. See how it's not picking up down there? It's picking up elsewhere, so I'm probably going to end up trimming it so that this doesn't drive me nuts. But that's what I do for my non-behaving stamps. Because if, you don't want to just be frustrated every time you go to use this stamp. And it does seem when when it has a lot of stuff that's left. Obviously you don't want to, you know, cut into the actual part that you're stamping, but this is what I found really helps me a lot. Because who wants to get frustrated when they're stamping, right? Okay, so let's put this on the inside. Of our card. Didn't put any other words on the inside. I figured I would. And you could also stamp this on your, be nice to stamp that on your envelope too. And then we'll attach this to our soft succulent piece. All right, so let's make the belly band. So this belly band is, I believe, 1 inch. Yep, 1 inch by 10 inches. And you're gonna want it to kind of overlap in the middle so that this is above it. And so I don't usually score mine. I just usually fold it around like this because I found when I scored it, it often made it just too tight and then you have trouble getting it off and on. So you want it to be able to slide. So there's a couple different ways that you can put this down. I've been using my tear and tape. I suppose you could use your glue, but then you're really gonna want to have to hold it there till it's dry. So I put just a little bit of tear and tape on that side, and then again on the underneath side facing up. And I have found that if you burnish this really well and then use your pick tool or any other sharp thing, you can really do an easier job getting underneath here, and you know, you can use your finger too. Sometimes that works a little better. Same over here. Sometimes I was just getting a little frustrated by doing that. I think I'm going to actually put it back on here so I can make sure I don't get it too tight and that I get it straight. Okay. And now we're just going to decorate. Now with this one I decorated the belly band with the evening evergreen, but I was thinking today we might do it with the gold. What do you think? Ooh. Yeah, that's really pretty. I like that. What is this one called? Shimmer, gold shimmer ribbon. So we'll just cut a piece. And again, you want it to do its little overlap thing where it's going to be underneath here. What can we use? Probably can use some tear and tape, or let's try some Stampin' Seal Plus. See, I've never tried it on top of a ribbon. I guess that's working. That works well too. There we go. And then we will get our sentiment back, and I'm going to get some dimensionals, but you got to remember we're only kind of going in the middle here with our dimensionals because we don't want to have things stick out, but I am not doing exactly in the middle. Reason being, I have found sometimes it's difficult to stick the dimensionals to the ribbon, so I want to kind of offset it a little bit. Hopefully I didn't overdo how far off I'm talking about. That should work. Just trying to center it. There we go. And then the last thing is just a couple little of the gold gilded gems. Whoops, gotta take the top off would be helpful. This is my favorite thing actually to use your take a pick tool with, because it just picks up those gems really easily. All right, so there we have it. So a new and easy fancy fold. I'll take it apart again just to show you, but wasn't that quick and easy? So we've got our belly band that slides really nicely, and then it opens like that. Really cool. As long as we have everything out, let me go get a pretty envelope so that we have it, a matching envelope. Because everybody likes a matching envelope. And we can again see if our little bamboo is behaving itself again. Gosh, this is going to be one of those kind of stamps, huh? That just likes to. I'm gonna trim some more on this later, but we'll just go like that, like that, like that. So we have just a pretty little sprig of bamboo. What do you guys think, huh? So, like I said, there's the paper from this beautiful Eden's Garden. I'm gonna order these gems. These gems look really pretty. They're in soft succulent and cherry cobbler. I figure these cherry cobbler ones would probably be kind of cool also for holiday cards. There's this cotton paper that's real soft that you can use for bows and things like that. We already talked about that. Gorgeous specialty paper. Oh, I know what I forgot to tell you. The two papers and the gems, these are only while supplies last. Those start, like I said, tomorrow for everybody to order, but they are only while supplies last. So, okay, Renee, hopefully I answered your question. This paper, all these, everything in this suite is available starting tomorrow. So you can do that. Order through me. There's a link under here, or if you have your own demonstrator, that would be great too. But I think you're really going to especially like the paper. I'm going to put you back up for a second. And wish you all a good week. Hopefully you're getting some good stamping in and getting going on your holiday cards. I know that's what I'm starting to do, because I make a lot of Hanukkah cards, and guess what? Hanukkah is at the end of the month this year, which means I don't have a lot of time. So have a great week. I will see you back here next week. I've already planned another exciting fancy fold for next week, because I saw somebody doing this and I'm like, oh my goodness, looks so cool. So see you back here tomorrow, next Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. Take care. Bye.